Welcome to this postpartum yoga stretch. My name is Eckstrom, co-founder of Inner Dimension, an online streaming platform for yoga, meditation, and daily wisdom where you can find my full library of programs, series, and single classes. Follow the link below, and when you join, you get a 10-day free trial. You'll have access to more than 1,000 classes, not just with me, but with other incredible instructors. This practice is targeted for your postpartum phase. We're going to talk a little bit about that as we get into it. We'll start seated on the mat and I'll meet you there. But before we jump in, be sure to hit that YouTube subscribe button so we can keep sharing these practices for free with people around the world. Let's get started. Begin seated on your mat. Scoot yourself back slightly and then open your legs out wide. I like to scoot myself far enough back that my heels can be resting on the yoga mat so they have some padding and support there. Then bend your left knee, bring the sole of your left foot to your inner right thigh. Notice that your right knee is pointing straight up to the sky and all 5 of your right toes are pointing straight up to the sky. Start to reach your right arm inside of your right leg, and then maybe you hook your right big toe. And if your hand doesn't quite reach there, that's totally fine. You could put a block in front of your knee, or you could even put your elbow on your thigh and rest your head in your hand. Remember that there's always a place for you. And as you hook the big toe, reach the left arm to the sky, and then up and over the crown of the head. And then breathe here. So this is a postpartum yoga stretch, which means that we're gonna have a focus on what's called yin yoga. We hold these poses for anywhere from 1 up to 5 minutes in yin yoga. Today we're not gonna be going quite that long, but we're gonna be here for a sustained period of time. Now, one of the things I want you to keep in mind is that if you're still nursing or if you're still pumping, then you still have the hormone relaxin coursing through your body. And what that means is that you're more mobile than you usually are before the time that you were pregnant. So you don't want to go past your pre-pregnancy range of motion. We're here to target some muscles, to open things up, to target the biggest joint in the body with this practice specifically, to hydrate and open the hips. But we don't want to overstretch, because overstretching can overstretch the ligaments, and ligaments are not like rubber bands. They don't pop back into place. So we're looking for gentle sensation here, nothing extreme. And this is an important time in your life to be moving away from extremes. Pause here as you flex the right toes towards you. Take care of yourself as you breathe. And then on an inhale, come upright. Place your left hand behind you. Turn your fingertips away from you. And then press into your left hand, lift your hips up, and sweep your right arm over your head on an inhale. And then exhale, sit the hips back down, and we'll flow through that 2 more times. Inhale, lift the hips, reach the right arm up and overhead. Exhale, descend the sitting bones back down toward the mat 1 more time in a little flow. Inhale, hips rise, right arm up and overhead. Exhale, lower the sitting bones down, and as your sitting bones reground, reopen your legs out your own amount. Draw the sole of your right foot to your left inner thigh. Again, checking in that the left knee is pointed up toward the sky, the left toes are pointed up toward the sky. Then reach your left arm forward, hook your left big toe, wrap the chest open, and on an inhale, reach the right arm up and maybe overhead. You could look down, you could look straight ahead, you could look up and under the arm toward the sky, but find a place for your neck that feels right for you as you stay here for about 2 minutes and breathe. And so after we've given birth, the amygdala has grown in the brain. When you deliver a child into life, or if you adopt a child and you're the primary parent, the research shows that your amygdala grows, and your amygdala tends to be what's known as your fight or freeze or flee center. And so it's only natural that you might be hyper attentive. hearing sounds in your environment. Maybe your child is even nearby or at home with you with another caretaker. And it can be really hard to stay focused on this time for yourself. Just trust. You carved this time out. Take it for yourself. Keep giving it to yourself and know that not just you, but everybody else benefits from you doing this one thing. You deserve and you need this time. Keep breathing. Last few moments here, last few breaths. On an inhale, spread the arms, rise through center, let the right hand fall behind you. Lift the hips, sweep the left arm up and over. Big inhale here, we'll flow it 2 more times. Exhale, hips lower. Inhale, press and rise. Exhale, sitting bones tap down. Inhale as you sweep the left arm up and over. Exhale, lower everything down. Take your right hand outside your right knee, spin it toward the sky, and then send both legs toward the top of the mat. Sit up tall, flex the toes toward the face, and then bring your right hand underneath your right knee. Bend your right knee, place the sole of your right foot flat, line your right heel up with your right sitting bone so you're not super far, and your foot also isn't so close into your inner right thigh. Split the difference. Stand down into the right foot. Bring the right hand behind your back. Inhale, reach the left arm toward the sky, and as you exhale, hook your left elbow outside of your right knee. And if that feels like it's too much, then just wrap your forearm around your knee and hug your thigh in toward your chest. Keep flexing your left toes towards your face, and then start to roll your right chest open. Start to take your gaze over your right shoulder toward the back of your space. Either find one point for your eyes, or my suggestion would be to close your eyes so that you can take your awareness inside. Now, when you were pregnant, you weren't doing any twisting, or certainly not much twisting at all. It can feel really nice to come back to these twisting postures. And then working the outer right thigh, that space of the IT band, as you press the knee into the elbow and the elbow into the knee. Sit up tall, sit up right, close your eyes and breathe. And give it one last little squeeze there. On an inhale, turn your gaze forward toward the top of your mat first, so you unwind from the top of the spine. Then release your left elbow, rotate the whole chest to face ahead. Lift your right foot up, step your right foot outside of your left knee, and then take your left hand to the top of your right foot and drop your right knee on top of your left knee. Lean to the left and wrap your left foot outside of your right hip, squeezing your inner thighs together. Now, some people like to lean forward and bring the inner thighs together more tightly as they separate their heels from their hips. Some people like to sit back on a block if that feels best. Bring your hands to your knees. Sit up tall. Take a deep inhale here. You could stay here, or exhale, maybe you start to walk the torso forward. It's not necessary. It's just an option if it feels appropriate and right. Find your place, whether you're seated upright or you fold ahead, and go inside yourself. Working now the internal rotation of the hips. Mobilizing and hydrating the biggest joint in the body that has just gone through so much transformation and change. Imagine that you could send your breath into the tight corners of your body, maybe even into the tight corners of your mind and your heart. Just starting to cultivate some space for yourself again. On an inhale, walk your hands back in, sit up tall. Lean back onto your sitting bones, uncross your legs, rest your heels on the mat with your knees bent. Bring your hands behind your thighs. You could stay here. Maybe you lift your shins parallel to the mat, press your hamstrings forward into your cupped hands. You could stay here. Maybe you reach your arms forward. We're just starting to explore turning the core on again. You could stay here. Or maybe you start to straighten the legs, coming into boat pose. Inner thighs hugging in. Wherever you are, it's the perfect place. Take an inhale, everything lifts. Then exhale, lower the soles of the feet down. Bring the hands behind you. Just one time, press into upward facing tabletop pose. Inhale here. Exhale, drop the sitting bones down, reach the right leg straight ahead, flexing the toes to the face. Lining the left heel up with the left sitting bone, bring the left hand behind you toward the low back so you sit up tall. It's like a pillar in a building, a support system helping you be upright. Inhale, reach your right arm to the sky. Exhale, right elbow outside of your left knee or wrapping the forearm around the knee, finding your place that's sustainable for you today. Start to turn your gaze over your left shoulder, finding one place for your eyes and then that invitation to go back inside of yourself. Feel your right femur bone sucking back into your right hip so that your hips are neutral, they're squaring forward. And then draw the left shoulder down the back. Spread through the top of the chest and let the twist come in that space underneath the shoulder blades as you begin to rotate the navel toward the inner left thigh. As if there were a string from the crown of your head to the sky, sitting up tall, upright. And then move your breath through your body, even in these moments when we feel like we're between a rock and a hard place, when things feel so wound up and tight, can you still find space with each breath you take? Give it one last little squeeze. Turn your gaze forward first on an inhale. Then release your right elbow. Rotate the torso forward. Lift the left foot. Step the left foot outside of the right knee. Take the right hand to the top of the left foot. Drop the left knee on top of the right knee. Lean to the right and wrap the right foot to the outer left hip. So you have the same options here. You could lean forward, hug the inner thighs together, or if you would be supported by having something underneath your sitting bones, add that prop there. Gather the hands around the knees, sit up tall, and go inside of yourself. What do you need? What is your body asking for? Is this enough? How often we speed past enough to go for more, more, more. So really, before looking outside of yourself, check within and maybe you stay right here. But if you get the message that tilting the torso forward would be right, then walk the torso forward. Walk the forearms ahead, bow yourself down. take this time. An internal rotation in this direction is something we get so little of in life and in yoga. And there might be some intensity here across the IT band, into the glutes. And you know how to be with strong sensation. Just notice that you're not turning that strong sensation into disparated tension, that the tension isn't going out into the jaw or the tips of the fingers. It's not evaporating out into other parts of the body. So as you release tension through the quality of your attention down into your hips, you're not displacing that into other places in the body. How soft can you be? How receptive can you be? This is something we need to reclaim in this postpartum phase. Can we learn to receive again? It really can be such a challenging time and such a challenging practice to learn how to receive again. And so start with yourself. Last few moments here, last few breaths, stay. As you're ready, walk your hands in, lean back onto your sitting bones, uncross your legs. Feet to the earth, heels to the earth. This was something that you might have done during your prenatal yoga periods where you had your heels on the mat. Maybe you tapped your heels on the mat for some soft core work. You could stay with that. Maybe you lean back and you float the shins parallel. Maybe the hands stay with the thighs. Maybe the arms extend. Maybe the legs straighten. Maybe not for quite some time. We're just touching in. We're just reawakening things. Never to judge, never to criticize. You have been through so much. You don't need any of that. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, hug your knees into your chest and recline onto your back. Give your knees a squeeze. And exhale into Shavasana. Legs extend, arms drop by the sides. Lay your body to the earth and give yourself this gift of a few moments to yourself. A full and final rest. Resist the urge to skip ahead. Resist the urge to skip this. This is the most important part of your practice. Reclaim yourself. Reclaim time for yourself. Just a moment here in Shavasana to rest. Begin to deepen the breath. Rebend your knees. Hug your knees into your chest. Rock and roll your way up to sit. Cross your legs, sit up tall, join your hands at your heart, bow your chin. Know that you will receive what you need to receive today. that what is essential will get done. That was my mantra in my postpartum phase, a reminder my teacher constantly shared with me. What is essential will get done. That doesn't mean that everything will get done, and that is okay. Know your value, know your worth. Continue to take this time for yourself. It is a service, not just to you, but to this new life you are nourishing. Inhale your thumbs to your forehead for clarity of thought, your fingertips to your lips for thoughtfulness of speech, and your hands to your heart for consistency of action, allowing your practice to guide you through everything you're thinking, saying, and doing. Namaste. Thank you so much for moving through this postpartum yoga stretch with me. Leave a comment, let me know how you enjoyed this practice. And if you want more, I have a full postpartum yoga series on Inner Dimension called Mom on the Go, which includes a full-length version of this practice called Open to Receive. Follow the link below to get access to your free 10-day trial. Thank you so much for sharing this time with me, and I look forward to practicing with you again soon.